Celebration and welcome, hi-fi protege to GoatVsFish. Perhaps you call yourself hi-fi protege, perhaps you're someone else who also claims to be a protege of GoatVsFish. As long as you're here, then have no fear, GoatVsFish will hear you out. We've got goat, we've got trout. We're walking about, shoeless, letting our hooves touch the ground, listening to the ambient sounds. Should GoatVsFish go live? Should GoatVsFish go live again? Well, have we walked about? Have we felt the air? Have we had the blood moving? Have we had the muscles spasming? If not, then why not? Then why not move about? And why not move about with you? Allow the repetition of the routine of GoatVsFish to become part of your verses. GoatVsFish, many people are asking, are you a Patriots or are you a Seahawk? The conundrum vexes me, and it vexes GoatVsFish too. A Patriot or a Seahawk? A Patriot or a Seahawk, we thought. Oh yes, oh yes. Well, the Seahawks versus the Goats in the previous verses. The LA Goats. And the sea is the sea of the fish. Now, some say that the Seahawk is a bird, but if it's really from the sea, then isn't that evidence of fish? Isn't that evidence of fish? We think so. We think so. And if there's evidence of fish, then perhaps the Patriot is the goat. We have heard before that Tom Brady is the goat, but then when Tom Brady did versus the 49ers, there was another goat, was it? There was another one, they were saying it was the young goat, the baby goat. We haven't heard much about that goat since then. And Tom Brady has, of course, denied being goat before. Says, oh, I don't like being called the goat. They say, I get complacent when they call me the goat. I need something to strive for. So we should really be calling Tom Brady the fish, but Tom Brady is no longer in the verses. So Seahawks, seeing as Seahawks has the sea in the sea, like the sea of the fish, we think that GoatVsFish should root for the Seahawks. But of course, then the Patriots, have you seen what the Patriots are getting up to around Verse America now? The Patriots are getting very aggressive. Ones calling themselves Patriots are getting very aggressive. Perhaps we should defund the Patriots. Perhaps we should defund the Patriots. One's in the verses, one's in the chat if you think we should defund the Patriots. Natty Cat says celebration, and celebration to you, Natty Cat. You're looking very natty this verse is. How did you get to be so natty? How'd you get to be so natty? Dizzy be busy. Goat, fish, a goat and a fish to you. This verse is a goat and a fish to you. Is goat from the ocean? Is goat from the ocean? Goat is of the land, fish is of the sea. This is basic verses. If you are just joining now, whether you are Natty Cat, Dizzy Be Busy, or Hi-Fi Protege, please take a brief verses. Please take a brief verses to like the stream of GoatVsFish. All of these things help. All of these things help. We have 4 viewers. We have 1 like. Please like the stream of GoatVsFish. Don't even think about liking the stream of GoatVsFish. Just like it. Just like the verses. Appreciation. If Brady was the goat, what happens if he eats a fish? Perhaps you are alluding to the ancient verses of you are what you eat. Are you what you eat? Are you what you eat? What happens if Brady eats a fish? Well, if Brady is a goat, then it's GoatVsFish. If Brady is a fish, then it's just common fish behavior. Fish are known to eat fish, all the verses. Fish often eat other fish. And sometimes the goat will blame the fish. They'll say, those savage fish, those cannibal fish, they eat other fish. And then the fish will say, but it's just my culture. It's just my culture. No, your subverse is, you might as well be a fence. We take great offense to you eating your own kind. How could we trust you to give a fair versus to goat when you would eat your own kind? Should we tolerate this behavior from fish culture? You think money should be defunded? Ah, well, you can defund your money now. You can defund your money by sending your money to Venmo or PayPal at GoatVsFish. Send your money to GoatVsFish to defund your money and give it to GoatVsFish. Every dollar you give to GoatVsFish will defund your money, thus ushering in a new age of prosperity for all goat and fish. Defund your money, send it to GoatVsFish. Fund the verses. It would be fun. Hi, Lysergic Fish. Lysergic Fish in YouTube. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Please like the stream. Please thumbs up the stream, please. Consider it your verses of entry. You enter the verses, you enter the verses, you come to the living stream, you enter the congregation, and you say, that's what they say. I always see you are sending hundreds and hearts to GoatVsFish. We are talking about scrolling down ever so slightly and giving that verses, giving that like to the stream itself, to the verses itself. But we appreciate all of your participation. Come talk with GoatVsFish. Bud Morgan, welcome back to GoatVsFish. Please tell me answers to all my GoatVsFish questions. Then by all verses, tell us your questions now, and you shall receive no answers. Tell us your questions now. Natty Cat says, wait, but if they play with a pig skin, GoatVsFish versus pig? They call it the pig skin, but this is just another lie. This is just another deception. For maybe perhaps in ancient verses, in the fence times, it was a pig skin, something one might call a pig. But now it is not made of any such leather. Now it's a fake verses. Fence ball is a strange thing. You look at the field, and it's subdivided into each little fence posts, small fence posts, large fence posts. You could look at a fence, you could look at a white picket fence, you could look at a football field, and they will look exactly the same. And then how do you score? How do you score? Well, you can traverse the whole fence, or you can get lazy and just kick it through the fence posts. For the field goal, you can kick it through the fence posts. And if you go too far to the goat side or too far to the fish side of the fence post, they say, no, it doesn't versus. So they don't want you to commit. They want you to go right in the middle of those fence posts. So much is determined. And then, of course, even after you score, they say, maybe scoring's not enough. Maybe you need an extra chance. Maybe you need an extra bonus versus. Would you like a little bonus versus? And so they have you kick it through the fence posts again. And again and again. And because the verses is not as safe as a fine verses of GoatVsFish, they wear these hats, they wear these heavy hats. They wear heavy hats with fences on their faces. They wear the fences over their faces for their own protection. So they cannot even see what they are doing. So they have fences on their faces, there's fences on the ground, there's fences all around. They're kicking the ball through the fence. They call it the gridiron. It's fences all the way down. It's fence ball. It's fence ball. Even their cleats, even on the bottom of their shoes, they have little fence posts poking into the dirt. If they just accepted their goatness, their hooves would be strong enough to traverse the field. But no. And sometimes they do not even play on grass. Sometimes they don't even play on grass. But Morgan says, are the fish equipped with GPS tracking devices? We have pondered this. So take this fish, take this goat. Now, there are many goat and fish. There are many goat and fish that have been in the service of GoatVsFish. Now you see GoatVsFish walking around. You see GoatVsFish live in the studio. But we have gone to many conventions. We have gone to punk rock bowling. We have gone to Hell's Heroes. We've gone to many places where we walk around being goat versus fish. And once, only once, have we found that a goat has gone lost, missing, or stolen. Has gone lost, missing, or stolen. Now we pondered, well, what if we had a goat positioning satellite system? What if we had some kind of tracking system within the goat and fish? And then if ever they got lost, goat versus fish could find where they are, could find their location. But we are not so certain. We are not so certain that we really want to be imposing this tracking system on the goat and fish. Perhaps we want them to be free to roam if they wish. Free to roam if they wish. And then, many years from now on eBay, it will show up. It will say, goat. And some will say, that's not a goat from Goat versus Fish. That's just a Beanie Baby goat with the tag missing. And they'll say, no, look at this picture. It's the same goat from Goat versus Fish. And there'll be all these goat that they claim are from Goat versus Fish. And there'll be all these fish that they claim are from Goat versus Fish. And they will have certificates of authenticity, but the certificates of authenticity will be fake. And they won't know, and so you'll have to have a certificate of authenticity to certify that your certificate of authenticity is a real certificate of authenticity, to certify that the goat and the fish were really the goat and fish of Goat versus Fish. As long as they're talking about Goat versus Fish, it sounds great. It sounds great to me. Green Tea 3699 says, go goat and fish. 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 The Uncle Bo cheers and celebrations. Welcome to you. Welcome to you. Welcome to Goat versus Fish. The Uncle Bo. We're going to see you at the Billy Myers show, yes? We have to keep asking you. We have to keep asking for this commitment. It means so much to Goat versus Fish to have a show at the Comedy Store Los Angeles on Valentine's Day. That to have some show up for Goat versus Fish, it means everything. It means everything for Goat versus Fish. 1 week. 7 days. Yes, it's coming up close. A verses of love from above. If you are going to get in, or if you are going to get into Los Angeles early, please tell Goat versus Fish we can meet up. We have 2 shows that versus. We have a show at the Good Night. It's a free versus. We have a show at the Comedy Store, which is after that. So if you want to see double the Goat versus Fish, we'll drive you around. We'll buy you drinks. And we'll ask you what you think. I see you're wearing the gray crown today. Ah, yes. Yes, Leafy Share 6457. The gray crown, indeed. How about your crown? What color crown are you wearing? The Uncle Bo says, I got off work that night and driving to LA immediately after. That's what we like to hear. We'll see you there. Ah. The strong legs of Goat versus Fish are moving abound. Put ones in the congregation if you want to see the leg and the foot of Goat versus Fish as we move about. This is no easy verses. The award-winning feat of Goat versus Fish. They could be yours. Guys, don't let this man on a plane, says Levy Bradford 8294. Why not? Why shouldn't we let you on a plane? What is it about you that we shouldn't let on a plane? Would we be insane to let you on a plane? Why? Why won't we let you on a plane? Why? Lysergic Funeral, welcome to Goat versus Fish. 1. Lysergic Funeral wants to see the feet of Goat versus Fish. All of your crowns are camouflage. Well, that's fine. Sometimes when you wear a crown that cannot be seen, it means that you become less of a target. Sometimes you wear the crown and everyone wants to come for it. Everyone wants to come for the crown, but you can't take it. No, 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 you new chatters in the congregation of Goat versus Fish. You can't take the crown from Goat versus Fish. You may try to snipe it with a nasty comment. But there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. No piercing word that can get through. The heart of Goat versus Fish is guarded by a goat and a fish. We've heard it all. We've heard it all. But by all verses, try to keep Goat versus Fish in your thrall. You may say a slur, says Levy Bradford. Well, how about this? Fence you. Fence you, you fencing fence-sitter who won't choose goat or fish. How's that for a slur? Goat, says John Smithy. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Rimting says, I see a man with a crown on a plane. Talk. I simply listen. Well, thank you for listening to Goat versus Fish. We are on a plane now. We are on a plane of existence. And that plane of existence has a goat layer. It has a fish layer. Some say that there's some layer in betwixt the two layers, that it's some kind of superimposition, like a fence that's between the goat and the fish layers that is neither goat nor fish. But there is no fence. There is only goat and fish and the verses between the goat and the fish. That is the essence of all creation and of all things that ever happen. For if there was no verses between the goat and fish, then there would just be stagnation. And that would not be pleasant, would it? Then you wouldn't be able to chat to Goat versus Fish. Levy Bradford says, I am no fence sitter. You choose fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. 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 Celebration for fish. How many languages can goat understand? Well, we can say goat versus fish. We can say cabra contra pez. We can say ziga gegen fisk. We can say yagi versus sakana. We can say kiaza contra pribe. We can say chèvre contra poisson. And perhaps there are some others. Perhaps there are some others we should learn. But you say that we need to know the words for goat and fish, and yes, knowing the words for goat and fish can help us to explain goat versus fish to one another. But also, look at this. That's a goat. What language do you need to communicate this goat? You can look at it, you can understand it as goat. And this fish, what language do you need to communicate this fish? This fish is a fish. It communicates fish. And the VS of the verses, this, while perhaps not known to all, it is known to a great many. It is known to a great many that the VS means this kind of exchange, this kind of contest, this kind of conflict, this kind of unifying of the goat and fish. Of course, the unification of goat and fish is a whole other verses, but perhaps we can achieve unification through verses. Unification through verses. Unification through verses. Liberal triggerer. Oh, my verses, you're going to trigger me. Oh. Wait, we're about to be triggered. Someone who's calling themselves the liberal triggerer. You're putting it all on the line. We haven't even read your comment, but you're calling yourselves the liberal triggerer. So if you're not triggering libs, then you're not living up to your name. And that would be a shame. That would be a shame. Your average Kamala supporter and pointing to goat versus fish. I'm not triggered. Try again. Conservative Denker says, I saw you bomb on Kill Tony. Celebration. And what did you think? The Uncle Bo says, goat makes many sounds while fish simple blubs. There are recordings in aquariums of fish sounds. Fish make more sounds than you might think. It might just be your goat bias, the Uncle Bo. Conservative, look at this verses. Some say, oh, goat versus fish isn't really real. But somehow liberal triggerer and conservative denker both show up in the same verses. Wow. Liberals and conservatives having a conversation in the same verses, both at the same time, as if they're in some manner of coordination. It's very goat versus fish indeed. You're still doing this weird bit even when it's proven to not be funny. Where's your proof? Where is your proof? We have not seen any proof whatsoever that goat versus fish isn't funny. We have not seen any proof whatsoever that goat versus fish doesn't versus. We have seen much proof that there are many who enjoy goat versus fish, even as you laugh now at goat versus fish. Some seem to forget, they seem to think that the laughing emoji is some sort of mockery or insult. But we see it only as evidence that you are amused by goat versus fish. But because you are so insecure about yourselves, you're offended by your own amusement. Crash out, bro. Oh, we know, you want to see a crash out. You want to see a goat versus fish crash out, but it's you who crashed out long ago. You who base your entire identification not on fish or goat, but on simply triggering the libs as if it's 2017 or some such verses. Well, goat versus fish is triggering you. Are you enjoying being triggered by goat versus fish? Are you enjoying knowing that none of your complaints and whining about goat versus fish persisting is going to do anything to stop goat versus fish? Do you think that anything goat versus fish would stop you doing from what you wish to be doing? Perhaps you should simply do what you wish with your life. Maybe that would be fun. Are you goat or are you fish? Lol, indeed. Yes, Isogic Fish, it's offense. No, it's me laughing at them and enjoying the verses. Well, that's very nice. That's very fine. We're so pleased you are enjoying the verses. It's me laughing at them. It's me laughing at them. It seems that there are several messages that are being held for review, but goat versus fish is feeling very lazy. So if you just want to rephrase that and say it again, then just say it again to goat versus fish. We're busy walking around and improving our own health, so if you could just conform to whatever standards are arbitrarily set up by the corporation known as Google and YouTube, then that would be very nice for goat versus fish. Thank you for your compliance. Did you say you are Jewish? Did you say you are a goat or a fish? Are you goat or are you fish? What did you say? What did you say to goat versus fish? It is humorous, conservative denker, that you accuse goat versus fish of simply saying the same thing over and over again and not being funny. And yet here you are, saying to goat versus fish, accusing goat versus fish of being a Kamala Harris supporter and trying to say some verses about what is and isn't Jewish to goat versus fish. It's like the same old material. It's the same old jokes we've heard many times before. You think that goat versus fish is unoriginal? Look at yourself. Look at yourself. You have no original thought of your own. You're just simply spewing the same old, tired old tropes to goat versus fish, trying to trigger us with ancient languages we've heard so many times before. You have no thoughts of your own. So why should goat versus fish be concerned with those who have no thoughts of their own? No real criticism to share with goat versus fish. Is goat meat high in vitamins? Goat meat is high in protein. Goat meat is an excellent source of protein, as is fish. Conservative denker, now we're in a conversation. The idea of calling others unoriginal when you've been doing the same WERF bit where all you do is repeat goat versus fish, peak projection. Well, why shouldn't it be peak projection after all? Goat versus fish comes from within you. This is something that we have said since the beginning of goat versus fish. And if goat versus fish is really just repeating goat versus fish over and over again, then how is it that we are having a conversation with goat versus fish? Goat fish, 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 goat fish. It seems that you are able to communicate with goat versus fish. So despite you saying that all we're doing is saying goat and fish, you seem to be able to understand goat versus fish. You seem to be able to argue with goat versus fish. You seem to be able to hear goat versus fish, so you undermine your own verses. Once again, peak projection, you undermine yourself. And of course you undermine yourself every verse as you don't choose goat or fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Do you hate aliens? Says GTM 1L1W. Do you hate aliens? Why no, goat versus fish. We have not a verses of hate in our heart. Of course, we want to know if the aliens are goat or fish. This is just a practical verses, but no, goat versus fish. We have no hatred for aliens. Goat, says Explo05. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat! Celebration for goat. Do you think aliens will take over Earth? Take over Earth. What is there to be taken over? We don't comprehend the nature of this verses. Are you talking about goats taking over the earth or fish taking over the earth? Because we don't know who's going to win, if the goat or the fish are going to win. Now, are fence sitters going to take over the earth? Some say they already have. Some say that the world is run by fence sitters who seek to divide goat from fish. But if you're asking if some other not goat or fish creature is going to come to earth and take it over, not if Goat versus Fish has any verses to say about it. Goat versus Fish will resist the takeover of the fence creature. And we will start by bombarding them with the question of goat or fish until they can no longer resist. My daughter claims goat celebration. Celebration for daughter goat. Celebration for daughter goat. Celebration for daughter goat. Celebration for daughter goat. George Elliott 6877 says not under Trump, Oh, you might be surprised. You might be surprised what's already been taken over. Your mind has been colonized by a fence builder. Are fish afraid of heights if they swim into deep water? As we have explored, the Marianas Trench is deeper than even the tallest mountain of Goat. So are fish afraid of heights? Perhaps their depths, it is the depths of fish that would scare the goat. This is one of the reverse verses. Fish might be scared of heights while goats are afraid of depths. This is goat versus fish again. This is goat versus fish again. Is this goat versus fish? Yes, this is goat versus fish. Welcome. Welcome to Goat versus Fish. Very political verses, this verse is. Very political verses. Many speaking to Goat versus Fish about Kill Tony, this verse is. Many trying to politicize Goat versus Fish. It's interesting what you will find on a random Sun versus afternoon. The logic is sound. The logic is quite sound. You cannot defeat the logic of Goat versus Fish. Not with tired old games and tropes. Let's get some more hydration. More hydration. More hydration. Okay, Goat and Fish, once again. Do you wish to see the legs and the feet of Goat versus Fish? One's in the verses, one's in the congregation. If you want to see the legs and feet of Goat versus Fish. Yes, Karmic, you came at just the perfect verses. We're tempting you with the award-winning feat of Goat versus Fish. Such legendary things. Ones. Hey, Lysergic Fish. Hey, Lysergic Fish. Is this your main verses? One, says Bud Morgan. Show us those gams. One, says the Uncle Bo. Boo Madone says, you hear about Big Bubba getting released? No. We hadn't heard about that. Thank you for this information. Are you goat or are you fish? Prue Lawrence, welcome to Goat versus Fish. Ah, there we are. There we are. Some say the feet of Goat versus Fish turn out like a V. Go on, walk around with Goat versus Fish. One hoof in front of the other. A award-winning feat. Did the goat sign up for the Warsaw Pact? This is an interesting question of history. What do the texts reveal? Did goat and fish join the Unification Nations? Is it all being broken apart? Is it all being broken apart now? Is the post-World versus 2 order being ended? It would seem so. It would seem so. But this is merely evidence that goat versus fish continues always. Does goat versus fish have a wiki feat entry? Does goat versus fish have a wiki feat entry? We should. Perhaps you can make it. Take it upon yourself. Take it upon yourself, congregation, to make a wiki feat entry of goat versus fish. If you do, we will review it on live stream and maybe make some edits for goat versus fish. But we really should, considering we have won FootFest. We did win the FootFest. Russell Restbrook welcomes his put me down for fish. I have the Gatorade color as a fish when they dump it on the winning coach. Very well. We put it down for fish. Put one down for fish. You are all spoiling goat versus fish with 9 glorious viewers. You're spoiling us with 9 glorious viewers. With 3 viewers, we need 1,000 watch hours. With 6 viewers, we need 500 watch hours. With 9 viewers, we need 333.33 watch hours. Very versatile, very versatile. Very versatile. 9 viewers, it's all we need. It's all we need. So thank you for being here with Goat versus Fish. Did the goats blend in well to a crowd? Or maybe the goats blend in well with the ground. Have you thought that maybe the goats blend in well with the ground? Camouflage goat? Where did goat go? Oh, wait, I see its eye. Oh, where did goat go? Where's goat? Where's camo goat? Where's camo goat? We think goats do blend in well with the crowd. It's one of their main defenses against fish. The fish army is growing. The fish army is ever growing, and soon it will overthrow the world. Very beautiful, very powerful. Someone asked earlier if we think that fence sitters are going to take over the earth. And all we can say to that is my fish army is ever growing, and soon I will overthrow the world. Very beautiful, very powerful. Is this Australia or America? What do you mean? Please explain your question. Touch grass and also water. Oh, we're touching grass. We're touching grass right now. Nice feet, look juicy. Please enjoy the award-winning feat of goat versus fish. Hey, if this is what it takes to get monetized on YouTube, we're here for it. We are here for it. When you look at our face, we can say foot reveal. And then when you look at our feet, we can say face reveal. It's goat versus fish again. Reversing the verses. What is the fish's opinion of psychedelic drugs? Let's ask the fish. Hey, fish. What do you think of psychedelic drugs? that was pretty interesting. Iris says, like mostly as I know Australians prefer to walk with bare legs, then you're Americans, isn't it? So that's why, what's your nation? Yes, but you say Australia or America when you could be saying goat or fish. Goat or fish. They say Tom Brady is a goat. Tom Brady doesn't even like being called a goat. Tom Brady does not even like being called a goat. Oh, and by the way, if you have not liked or subscribed to GoatVsFish, now is your time. If you don't like the stream and subscribe to GoatVsFish, then you're a fence sitter. And we laugh and mock you. Don't be a fence sitter. Follow GoatVsFish. Hello. Hello, Alexis Mages. Your sound is AI. AI, you mean artificial intelligence? You can't spell artificial intelligence without fish. AI seems to be very popular on YouTube, these verses, so maybe that's what we're doing. Maybe GoatVsFish should go all AI. You can't spell GoatVsFish without AI. GoatVsFish. The A and the I are already in GoatVsFish. AI would be nothing without GoatVsFish. AI does all its machine learning from GoatVsFish. Soon all of AI will just be feeding and sampling off of GoatVsFish live streams. And every time that you ask the AI about anything you want to know about any information, it will just tell you about GoatVsFish. This is one of the many goals of GoatVsFish, to train all AI on GoatVsFish. Please join and subscribe and like and watch more GoatVsFish so that we can turn all AI into GoatVsFish. Thank you for your participation. 999 LSD says, I am goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Well, Darth Vader, was he goat or fish? Well, Star Wars, as has been discussed many times by GoatVsFish, is definitely a GoatVsFish kind of story. You've got the light side and you've got the dark side. You have the rebels and you have the Empire. And you have one such as Darth Vader who are choosing between goat and fish. Long ago they made a choice. But then along comes the offspring and says, wait, you made a choice long ago, but we think that if you are a goat, there's still some fish within you. There's still some fish. We think there's still fish within goat. And the goat says, it's too late for me, fish. And then they say, but they're more fence now than goat. Because as you know, Darth Vader used to be a fully organic goat or fish, but then was carved up and turned and was replaced by fence parts. Are the fence parts really goat or fish parts? Is Vader really goat or fish, or is it some sort of hybrid fence creature made of the fence sitter? Because Vader really is on the fence. It's like, oh no, I'm totally goat. I've totally gone to the goat side. But then the fish is like, oh no, but there's still some fish within you. You're struggling with the verses within. So say what you will about the Emperor, but the Emperor is not on the fence. The Emperor has totally chosen goat or fish. But Vader remains on the fence. They claim their commitment, but Vader is on the fence and only finds redemption when they finally stop pretending to be that, whether or not they finally get off the fence. And in doing so, there is triumph. So if goat or fish really wants to triumph in the verses, one of the best things you can do is to find a fence sitter and get that fence sitter off the fence. So find a fence sitter you know and ask the fence sitter, are you goat or are you fish? And once that fence sitter chooses goat or fish, this will aid in your triumph of the verses. Go out there, goat and fish. Find fence sitters. Ask them, are you goat or fish? Their answers may surprise you. Yes, now you see. Yes, now you see. Tow alert. Says RT23. Tow alert. Tow alert. Go to the goat side. Let it through you. Let it through you. Let the goat through you. Where does Boba Feet fit into all this? Boba Feet? Boba Feet? Maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need to put Boba near our feet. Maybe if we put Boba near our feet, then we'll really get some views. Darth Vader was called Annie when he was a child. Tomorrow, tomorrow. What if everyone was on the fence? Well, pitiably, most are on the fence. Most are still on the fence. Goat vs. Fish shall return. We hope you continue viewing Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish must go to relieve ourselves. Well, we do. Look at this fence. Look at the fence. Don't sit on it. Don't sit on it. Hey yo, Goat versus Fish, says Howard. Lucan. Goat versus Fish, or someone has had too much time on their hands. Keep going, I'm almost done. I'm not. So you'd better keep going. What does it mean to have too much time on your hands, Howard Lucan? Tell us, please. I'm looking for an honest goat or fish. What does it mean to have too much time on your hands? Explain this phenomenon to Goat versus Fish. Are the fish GMO? Some are. Some are. Are the fish goat? No. What wizardry indeed. What does it mean to have too much time on your hands? What does it mean to have too much time on your hands? We want to know. The fish is natty indeed. We had a natty fish here earlier. What does it mean to have too much time on your hands? Implication, perhaps. You should be doing something else, Goat versus Fish. But what else would we rather be doing? We are breathing in the fresh air. We are gazing upon beautiful, beautiful verses. We are walking about. We are sharing the space and the conversation with you. Truly, what better verses is there to do? What better way would there be to be spending our time? Perhaps you think that Goat versus Fish should be engaged in some difficult labors. If only Goat versus Fish were laboring, if only Goat versus Fish were suffering, then perhaps Goat versus Fish's time would be better spent. But Goat versus Fish doesn't think so. Goat versus Fish does not think so. We think our time is very well spent just as we are. Just as we are, and we think your time is well spent lurking and watching the stream of Goat versus Fish. Time on your hands, sand on your feet. Fish go blub, goat go bleat. Is there really such a verse as having too much time on your hands? Perhaps you would like some more time. Who has more too much time on their hands? Goat versus Fish, or someone who comments to Goat versus Fish that Goat versus Fish has too much time on their hands? Who truly has too much time on their hands, Goat versus Fish, or those who seek to mock Goat versus Fish? Those who think their time is best spent mocking Goat versus Fish? Perhaps it is they who have too much time on their hands. Who has too much time on their hands? The goat or the fish? Now this is a question. This is a question worth pondering. Who has too much time on their hands? Is it the fence sitter? The fence sitter who spends all of their time in deliberation, never taking any action, never gaining any traction in life? I am looking for an honest goat or fish. With this candle I seek one honest goat or fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Behold this thing of beauty. Goat and fish have been gathering around the flame for many thousands of millions of years. Who even has hands? Goat or fish? Perhaps you have a hand. Perhaps you can give a thumbs up and like the stream and subscribe to GoatVsFish. Sometimes the question is more important than the answer, says Bud Morgan. Bud Morgan, you only found GoatVsFish not a few hours ago, but already you have become so wise. BBDH187 says, blub, 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 celebration for fine fin fish. Celebration for fish indeed. Let's go, fish. Let's go, fish. Jesse Martinez, it is so nice to have you here. It is so nice to have you here. What will GoatVsFish do when we go live? It's hard to know. It's hard to know what's going to be on the GoatVsFish show. But this versus, we have found something new. Carrying a candle around. And if you want to know what kind of candle it is, we would advise you to mind your own beeswax. Maybe carrying a candle around while talking to you is the new YouTube meta discovered by GoatVsFish. So many will think of loud, exciting new things to share with you on the living streams. Find some way to reinvent the verses, some trend to copy. But GoatVsFish, invitation all of us to focus on simple things. A flame as we move about. A flame that's never quite the same. I feel a deep calling within myself to decide, yes, decisions. This is progression for you. It's a business candle. We could write it off as an expense, it's true. We could write it off as an expense. Behold, the ruins of an ancient civilization. I am Fancy Mandius, King of Kings. Look on my fence, ye mighty, and despair. A vigil for the fallen empire. Yes. This yard around which we walk, all of these places can become part of the lore of GoatVsFish. Here we have the fallen insect empire. Once, these things called insects thought they ruled the verses. They were fence times indeed. But through their greed, their own civilizational collapse. For the insects were no match for the goat and the fish. The insects were false to begin with, and now all that remains is a low fence. And the ruins smote upon the ground. In the verses where GoatVsFish reigns supreme, the ancient insect empire is but a dream. Yes, Prue Lawrence, yes. The candle is strong. It has been an hour of Goat versus Fish. We thank you for joining this living stream. There are things for Goat versus Fish to do, verses we must tend to. But we thank you for joining. We thank you for joining. We offer you now a few brief minutes of final verses. If you have something to say, if you have something to say, now is your time. Celebration for the verses, Dizzy Be Busy. Celebration for the verses. It is beautiful to have you here with us. We always knew that the quest for 3,000 watch hours on YouTube was never really about accumulation of the hours. It was never really about any pennies that Goat versus Fish could make from AdSense. It was never really about 1 or 3 or 5 subscriptions that we could get. What it's really about is making a stronger connection with you, the congregation, spending more time together, spending more time learning of one another, spending more time with Goat and more time with Fish, and even reaching out to a few fence sitters. That's what it's really about. Chit, who says, "Are you fish or are you fish? So close but so fence. Are you goat or are you fish?" Weed Pipe says, "I like chocolate bar." That's an interesting verses. Perhaps we could make your dreams come true. Perhaps we could turn your likes into a reality. Remember, if you are just passing through, please subscribe to Goat versus Fish. Each one of these live living streams, we do get a few more subscribers to Goat versus Fish, and viewers keep going up and up and up. You like that Goat versus Fish stuff. Chit says 100% fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Perhaps this is the tree of the knowledge of goat and fish. Perhaps this is the tree of the knowledge of goat and fish. Once there was a great fence sitter in the sky who thought themselves the most powerful of all beings. Once there was a fence sitter who claimed to be the master of all creation. Once there was a fence sitter who thought that they could impose rules upon you and tell you what it is that you can and cannot do. Once there was a fence sitter who said, "Do not consume of the tree of the verses of goat and fish. The tree of the verses of the knowledge of the goat and fish. You are forbidden to consume of it," said the fence sitter. And now there is not so much temptation, for it does not appear that the verses is growing. It does not appear that the verses is growing, but stay around with Goat versus Fish. Keep watching the living streams of Goat versus Fish. Let the days and the months and the years pass, and we promise you, that you will see the fruit of Goat versus Fish. You will see the fruit and fruition of the verses, and your patience will be rewarded. Just as we accumulation a larger congregation of goat and fish, as one by one you stumble upon the streams of Goat versus Fish, so too will this tree provide fruit, delicious, delicious verses, that when consumed, grant unto you knowledge of the verses of goat and fish. Behold, the verses of the knowledge of goat and fish. Perhaps we can almost see Behold, Behold! Behold! Are the fish carnivorous? Often they are, often they are. 11 glorious and mighty viewers of Goat vs. Fish. How can Goat vs. Fish abandon the living streams when we have 11 glorious viewers of Goat vs. Fish? If you're just passing through and you're one of the 11, sound off in the chat right now. Sound off in the chat right now. We want to hear what you have to say. We want you to like. We want you to subscribe to Goat vs. Fish. Are the goats all vegan? Some are. Some are. Yes, you're just passing through, but look at all these beautiful things that there are to do. Gamgosh 11 is banging the sword on the shield, banging the sword on the shield. As the verses bloom, as the verses bloom, there is a war of inevitable doom. Appreciation BBDH187. Does eating sushi count as versus the fish? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It can also be a celebration of fish. It can also be a celebration of the fish. Gamgosh 11, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Are you part of the Warhammer universe? Perhaps you deserve verses. Perhaps with 12 viewers, you deserve verses to see the Temple of Goat vs. Fish. I'm a fish since that is my zodiac sign. You don't have to be fish because that is your zodiac sign. You are free to choose for yourself. You are free to choose for yourself. Let's show you inside. Let's show you the pride of the Temple of Goat vs. Fish. Are you ready? Who's ready? Make some noise if you're ready. Thanks to viewers like you, we are raising funds on the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish. Become a $5 member of the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish. Why would I do that, you say? Why would I become a paying member of the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish? We'll tell you. We'll tell you why. Because we are building beautiful things. We are building beautiful things. The sea of the fish, behold the sea of the fish. Behold the land of goat, behold the land of the goat. Behold the shine and sparkle of the verses. Goat versus fish. Behold the verses of Goat versus Fish. The verses. The verses itself. And now, Watch this. Goat versus fish getting stronger every versus. Yes. You see this thing? You say, oh, it is so silly. Oh, it's such a silly thing as goat versus fish. But we are getting stronger every versus. And there's nothing you can do to stop goat versus fish, but there are many things you can do to encourage goat versus fish. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Get stronger with goat versus fish. Your body is a temple. We're in the temple of goat versus fish. Silence, fence sitter. This stream encourages me to get more and more fit, yes. Get fit. If goat versus fish can get fit, then so can you. You're out of excuses. You're out of excuses. If this guy right here can get fit, then what's your excuse? None. It is only you who are holding yourself back. It's time to get back on track. And to get on track, you have to get off the fence. It's one of the many paradoxes of goat versus fish. The weak squeak of a fence sitter, indeed. But there are verses to be done. There are verses to be done. It's been fun. It's been fun, but there are verses to be done. It is a fine thing that Goat vs. Fish wants to continue live streaming with you, but there are things for Goat vs. Fish to do. There are things for Goat vs. Fish to do. So thank you for joining Goat vs. Fish. This is your last chance to like and subscribe to Goat vs. Fish for more verses like this. Goodbye. Thank you for the verses. Thank you for the verses. Thank you for the verses. This last bit is for Weed Pipe. This one's for Weed Pipe, who says they want chocolate. Remember, Goat vs. Fish is giving you live streams, every day, so please consider becoming a patron of the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish, even as a free member or for 5 or 10 versus American dollars a month. With great appreciation, your support for Goat vs. Fish. Ooh, Vandersnoot. We remember Vandersnoot. So many of you Goat and Fish have different names depending on where you are. Here, behold. A sweet treat to reward you for being here with Goat vs. Fish. We've got Joe, who says, walking cane as a plunger is likely to result in ineffective clearing of the clog. Are you goat or are you fish? You play video games? Sometimes it can be done. We want to have more fun, but there's editing to be done, and we have to clear out the studio of Goat vs. Fish. If it were up to Goat vs. Fish, we could just living stream all verses, but there are things to be done. But we admit, the more of you that are there with Goat vs. Fish, the more viewers we have of Goat vs. Fish, when we know that every minute that passes counts for 11 minutes towards monetization, it can be difficult to go. This is why we're here for the Goat vs. Fish show. Are you goat or are you fish? We'll give you one more chance. Those of you who are still watching, what do you want to see from Goat vs. Fish? What do you want to see from Goat vs. Fish? Do you want a musication song? Do you want libations from Goat vs. Fish? We'll tell you this, if someone becomes a $5 patron right now on Goat vs. Fish, we will drink a libation with you right here on live stream. It will become an instant celebration. More motivation. More motivation. Give your motivation to Goat vs. Fish. Give your motivation to Goat vs. Fish. Yes, when Goat vs. Fish has 10 viewers, then every 6 minutes is 1 hour for Goat vs. Fish. It's a beautiful versus. Right to GVF Holy Book. That is something we could do. Goat versus Fish wants you to know, everyone watching this stream, if you choose not to take offense, and you know what I mean, you're a big boy. You're a big boy with your Goat versus Fish. Some would say that you are a fool. And that's cool, that's cool. That's cool too, that's cool too. That's cool too. Explo Goat, appreciation for Goat, appreciation for Goat. Maybe we'll give you a little musication. For the 11 viewers watching Goat versus Fish, maybe a little musication. Oh, look, it's the board of Goat versus Fish. Wow. Oh, look, it's a giant fish, and it's Puppet Cousin. Oh, my verses. It's Puppet Cousin. Puppet Cousin is still here. Hello, giant fish. Hello, giant goat. Fish versus goat. Hello, Puppet Cousin. You're a filthy one. You're a real filthy one, you know that? Hey, look, it's I Can Fix Amber Heard. Our soon-to-be retired VIP. A look behind the verses, a look behind the verses. We can play for you the one song that we know. The one song that we know. Fish versus goat. What a nice place you have. We have it so you don't have to. everyone. Fun with musications with Goat vs. Fish. There should be a choir of goat screams and fish blubs, yes. The gospel of Goat vs. Fish. This instrumental masterpiece has the goat getting jiggy with it. Yes, if only Goat vs. Fish could learn more, could ever learn even more. Well, we said to ourselves, we'll go live for half an hour, It has now been 3.5 hours. But that's because you keep watching Goat vs. Fish and you keep making it worthwhile for Goat vs. Fish to stay around and live stream with you. So Goat vs. Fish, we'll say celebration, but we will check one final versus. We will check the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish, for we did say that if someone joined and became a $5 member of the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish, that we would, in fact, drink on inebriation with you. However, it does not seem that anyone has become a new $5 patron on the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish. So we will not be sharing any inebriation with you this versus. But you'll just have to wait for next time. This is a gay live. You're right, it's a gay live. It's very gay. It's so incredibly gay. Are you gay yet? Are you gay? No? Well, that's okay. Goat vs. Fish accepts you just how you are. As long as you choose goat or fish and don't sit on the fence. There are so many places of judgment out there on the interwebiverse, but not here on Goat vs. Fish. Watching this stream makes you gay. It can. That's not really the plan, but it can. We do not deny. We've got a gay goat, we've got a gay fish. It's a very big gay versus, and you're all invited. So, D. Calderon 1901. We try to reach the goat and fish, but some fence sitters, they're just not ready for Goat vs. Fish. If someone out there wants to become an editor for Goat vs. Fish and take all of these live streams and find the best conversational moments and turn them into YouTube shorts or something, then send a message to Goat vs. Fish. Maybe we can find something for you to do. There's a lot of Goat vs. Fish content that needs to get out there to the universe so you can be content with Goat vs. Fish. $100. We'll see you about on the next versus. Celebration.